We all have moments and to have opinions and passion. Thank you so much. Everyone, welcome to the Middleton Common Council. Today is August 19th. It is 7 o'clock, and I'm calling this meeting to order of the regular council meeting, requesting assistance with roll call.
Sure. Alder Shaver.
Here.
Alder Madden.
Here.
Alder Kalish.
Here.
Mayor Kuhn.
Here.
Alder Nelson.
Here.
Alder Myers.
Present.
Alder Hanairo.
Here.
Alder Lorman.
Here.
Alder Crow.
Here.
Very good. At this time, looks like we have a couple of public comments. If the president of the council could assist. Thank you.
Sure. I'm going to call you one at a time. You'll have 3 minutes to speak. If you'll please tell me your name, or excuse me, tell everyone your name and address before you start. We'll start with Rita Gahagan. I apologize if I mispronounced.
Hi, my name is Rita Gahagan. I live at 6402 Mound Drive. And I just have a few comments about the no parking situation on Mound Drive. So we've requested no parking and the city has agreed, and tonight will be the ordinance vote, I understand. I guess one thing, because there's only one other person who's lived on Mound Drive longer than I have. I've been there 33 years. And, you know, it's just a real special little street. We don't have sidewalks. There are no curbs at present. It's a close-knit community. We all get along. We work together well. And the reason we wanted to make sure it was no parking is because of the construction in the 63 and 400 blocks of University. And we wanted it to start, and the city cooperated before construction starts. And because we didn't want construction vehicles or worker vehicles parked on the street. And it's also difficult. I mean, it would be impossible if cars parked across from each other on the street for emergency vehicles to get through. So that is one thing. And the reason we're here tonight is because the number of signs that are going up, and we all believe, everyone on the street believes that it's pretty much overkill, that we don't need that many signs, that a sign, maybe 2, one on each side, that explain no parking, entire drive, both sides, would do it. And my question, I guess, is why wouldn't that suffice for warning people that think they might want to park? And most of the problem is down at Gateway and Mound. When you redid that intersection and you put that curb up, cars started parking there. And if the road is redone and curb and gutter is put in throughout the entire road, then, you know, it would maybe become more of a problem. But so that's my thing, just that it's a nice road, nice little drive. We want to keep it that way. And the signs are really going to take away from the atmosphere on the road and just the feeling of sort of that upwoods or up north woods kind of thing. So thank you.
Thank you. Perfectly timed at 3 minutes. Good job. Next up is Rob. I'm not sure. Is it Nur?
Nuri.
Nuri. Thank you.
I'm Rob Nuri. My address I put down is 5310 Mound Drive. That's actually where the Heim effigy mound lives. And I take care of that as the past president of the Wisconsin Archaeological Society. And this idea of making Mound Drive no parking is in part something that I started with the city planning folks about 5 years ago. We have always kind of kept that special place quiet. Largely because my dear neighbors, there are only either 9 or 10 houses on Mound Drive. If we all of a sudden start advertising this special place for people to visit, then there's no place for them to park. There's no place for them to turn around other than in people's driveways. So I at first asked, could we just have a sign at the end that said, the high mound is 300 feet ahead or whatever, and please park on Gateway. Well, I was told you couldn't do that if it wasn't a no parking. So we started the process of trying to get it to be no parking. The street itself is 18 feet wide, which is the exact width of 2 parking spaces. So that if the mayor and I each parked in one lane, we would block the entire street and we would be legally parked at this point. Probably would be illegally blocking a road, but the point is that this is a very quiet little area that I, as an outsider, I actually live up in Baraboo, I have tried to respect my neighbors. And that's what this is all about, is respect. I very much appreciate the Public Works Committee approving this for being no parking. However, what has happened is, because the Public Works staff has gotten a little ahead of themselves, they've already put up the signposts. There are now more signposts than there are houses on Mound Drive. One of the signposts are, I measured them a little over 10 feet tall. The closest two are 67 feet apart. So if you laid down those 2 signposts, they would come awful close to meeting. There are more signposts for this quarter mile of really small street than there are on Hubbard as I drove in. Thank you, thank you, thank you for making it no parking. I do support it. But quite honestly, the signs that are there now are littering, and they're taking away their municipal littering, and they're taking away from the very nature of this little neat corner of the good neighbor city. So I encourage you to support it, but I also ask you to direct the Public Works folks to cut back the number of signs dramatically. Thank you much.
Thank you, Rob. Up next is Paul Camps.
Hi, everybody. My name is Paul Camps, and I live at 6402 Mound Drive, and I'd like to thank you all for being here so that we could speak. I really don't have that much to say. I didn't live on Mound, or haven't lived on Mound as long as Rita has, but I've been there for a long time, and there's a reason. I love that street. I mean, it's just a little thing like this, and it's like living back up in Northwoods. It's like where I grew up, and it's, everything gets along. We're doing fine. It's no problem. Of course. Now, I won't say anything about the, 8, 12, 15-story building that's going up next to us. Sorry. But so the parking thing, it's supposed to be a nice, quiet street, which is what it is. But you turn onto the street now from Gateway and you look down the street and all you see are no parking signs all over. It's like, it does look like litter, like someone said earlier. But it's really disconcerting to see. It does look like litter. I was thinking of maybe tying branches to all the posts or something. But I used to be an EMT also and drove an ambulance for many years. And I know that you cannot get, a piece of fire equipment or an ambulance down there unless there is no parking. Can't have parking on either side. So let's not destroy the little neighborhood by putting up 55 signs. Let's just have it. Let's use common sense. 2 signs at the beginning when you're going up into the thing, and then maybe a sign here, a sign there for anybody who's that forgetful, and we have to protect them too. But so that's all I wanted to say is that it looks like hell, and it's a shame to see. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who would like to speak this evening? Anybody online? Okay.
Thank you. Moving on, next is the presentation from the Dane County Supervisors. And it's my understanding that they were called to a meeting and must reschedule. Is that?
Yeah, they indicated that they have a scheduling conflict for this evening, so we will reschedule them to a future meeting.
Thank you so much. Moving on, approval of consent agenda. Is there a motion?
Sure, Madam Mayor, I might need some help with this. I think we will approve to move items 1 through 5, 7 through 8. I think we have to just pull number 6 out. That's subject to city attorney approval. Does that sound about right, my committee members?
I think I would move approval of the whole
Okay.
thing, just noting that number 6 is subject to city attorney review.
Well, that's even easier. So the consent agenda, as presented, items 1 through 8 and item number 6 is subject to city attorney approval. And speaking on behalf of LNO, number 8 is in there as well. So we have a motion.
Oh, yes. Your motion, is
My
there a
motion.
second?
A second, I'm
Excellent.
sorry.
This is an arrow, I'll second.
Thank you.
Excellent, thank you. All those in favor of approving the consent agenda, items 1 through 8 as listed on the screen, noting that number 6 is with city attorney approval, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Moving on to easements. The first one says consideration, discussion, and possible action on resolution 2025-40 Pheasant Crossing Public Utility Easements. Is there a motion? Or do you need some staff guidance? Request for,
Myers, I'll move approval of resolution 2025-40 for the release and creation of easements to common council for approval on behalf of Public Works.
Madden will second.
okay, any comments? Hearing none, all those in favor of approving the consideration, discussion, and possible action on, approval of resolution 2025-40 Pheasant Crossing Public Utility Easements, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Moving on to licenses, application for a special event and amplified sound permit by UW, Madison School of Medicine and Public Health Infectious Disease Division, Stephen Morton for Infectious Disease 2025 Summer Party on September 6, 2025 at Lakeview Park Outdoor Shelter.
This is Madden. I'll move approval of the application for a special event and amplified sound permit. September 6, 2025 at Lakeview Park Outdoor Shelter.
Thank you.
Myers, I'll second.
Thank you. Any comments? Hearing none, all those in favor of approving the application for a special event and amplified sound permit, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Moving on to miscellaneous. Oh, I mixed up my paperwork. My apologies. Thanks. Request to authorize an increase in the part-time IT technician position to full-time.
Yes, Madam Mayor, on behalf of Finance and Personnel, I can make a motion to request that we authorize an increase in the part-time IT technical position to a full-time.
Is there a second?
This is an arrow, I'll second that.
Okay, great. Any comments?
I just have a question for staff. Do you need us also to authorize staff to start the recruitment process for the position?
Great question.
Okay, then I'll make a substitute motion to, I move to authorize an increase in the part-time IT technician position to full-time and to authorize staff to start the recruitment process for the position.
Lorman will second that.
Great work. Any comments? Hearing none, all those in favor of approving the request to authorize an increase in the part-time IT technician position to full-time and authorize staff to recruit for the position, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Moving on to the consideration, discussion, and possible action on a simplified rate case study for the Middleton Water Utility.
Myers, on behalf of Public Works, I move to authorize the water utility staff to file a new simplified rate case with the Wisconsin Public Service Commission.
Madden will second.
Any comments? Hearing none, all those in favor of approving the simplified rate case study for the Middleton Water Utility, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Moving on to the CVMIC liability insurance policy renewal, 2027 through 28.
Yes, on behalf of Finance and Personnel, I'd like to make a motion for the renewal of the civic liability insurance policy renewal, the 2027 through 2028.
Is there a second?
And I will second.
Any comments?
Do we need to specify at the current retention level, since they did provide two options?
Yeah, I think that could be clarified, that that's the option that we're choosing, the current retention level at 50,000 per occurrence.
Then I'll make that motion to.
All right, Norman will second that.
Okay. Any comments? Hearing none. All those in favor of approving the liability insurance policy renewal? And I'll need assistance from the city administrator. Which was the one they selected?
It's at the current retention level,
Current
$50,000.
retention. Thank you. Please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously, and thank you, Brian. Moving on to ordinances, first reading.
This is Madden. I move to suspend the rules.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Myers, second.
Okay, any comments on suspending the rules? Hearing none, all those in favor of approving of suspending the rules, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. The next is the ordinance to amend section 15.042 of the City of Middleton Municipal Code to prohibit parking on both sides of Mound Drive and Mound Court.
This is Madden. I move approval of the ordinance to amend section 15.04 of the City of Middleton Municipal Code to prohibit parking on both sides of Mount Drive and Mount Court.
Schaefer will second.
Any comments?
I just had a question about the signposts. I was surprised to hear that the posts would go up before council approved the ordinance change. And I'm also curious to know why are there too many that have been put up? I trust I know the residents think so, but I'm wondering, why are there so many?
I'll follow that. It's a great question. I'm just gonna follow if there is a standard. And I think that's what she's alluding to. And to be honest, there are some neighborhoods I've seen where it has more, but those residents may be fine with them. And then there's other parts of the city that maybe don't have so many. Maybe they have one or two on the side of the road. And so just for consideration, long-term, if there's a standard.
Sure. This has been Public Works Director. Just wanted to comment, I guess, in terms of the number and location, right? I think when staff are deciding the number and location, it's also want to take into account ability for enforcement, wanting which was obviously right, the kind of the reasoning behind having the signs up there in the first place. So ensuring that drivers are able to see signs, knowing that, right, this is an area that you can't park. I understand concerns from the residents in terms of the aesthetics of the no parking signs. In terms of the height of the signs, they're 10 feet are standard poles that we use throughout the city. I think Mound Drive has kind of two offshoots almost. One's Mound Court. So knowing that no parking is there for the entirety of the roadway. Part of the reason why we wanted to almost sprinkle the signs throughout the area, and then also knowing that it's not a straight shot, there is a slight curve to the roadway as well. But yeah, staff is open to suggestions.
But they are following our standard.
Correct.
Okay, and there is parking available still on North Gateway?
That is correct.
I just want to say thank you. I know the Mound Drive folks have been working on that for a long time. And I know your alder is working with you as well. I do appreciate that persistence. Just so you guys know, when I used to do doors, I would hit that road and I had to learn to not park because if there was snow on the ground, no one could get through, even if it was just one, because if you had high volume years. So I appreciate your persistence and I appreciate your alder's leadership and to those who've accepted it on the Public Works Committee.
Yeah, first, I just want to thank all of the neighbors for their long engagement with this process, both in Public Works and here tonight. Ben, is there a way that you and Matt could perhaps get together and see if there aren't a few signposts that aren't strictly necessary for enforcement from a legal standpoint?
Yeah, I can certainly collaborate with Matt and as well Chief Thompson as well to make sure, right, that we're coordinating with our partners in the police department to make sure that what they see best fit for their officers as well.
Great. Thanks, Ben. I think that'll really help address some of the concerns that were raised here tonight, potentially. And for those of you who are watching who don't know, Matt's our city attorney. So if there's a way for us from an enforcement standpoint to still enforce the no parking, but not have as many signs, I'm confident that he and Ben will be able to figure it out for you.
All right, thank you for that. I think someone else had their hand up. Nope. Okay, moving on. Did we vote? We did not vote. Okay. All those in favor of approving the ordinance to amend section 15.042 for Mound Drive and Mound Court, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. And moving on to number 2, and I'm going to ask Alder Madden for the waiver. Was that for both items or was that intended for number 1?
Oh, that was intended for number 1.
Cool, thanks. That's what I thought. All right. So first reading, ordinance to amend section 11.013 and 11.03 related to adopted state building codes and amend the fee schedule under section 3.12 related to fees. Is there a motion?
Schaefer will move. Myers, I'll second.
Okay. Any comments? Hearing none, all those in favor of approving the ordinance to amend section 11.013 and 11.03 related to adopted state building codes and amend the fee schedule, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Moving on to resolutions 2025-33, amending the 2025 Capital Projects Fund budget for the Lakeview Park Tennis and Pickleball Court Project, number 22-112.
This is Nelson on behalf of PRFC. We recommend approval of resolution 2025-33.
On behalf of Finance and Personnel, second that.
Any comments? Hearing none, all those in favor of approving resolution 2025-33, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Moving on to discussion, the updates on committees, commissions, and boards.
I would like to report on 3 things quickly. Workforce housing met Well, no, we didn't meet yesterday. We were going to meet, but we didn't have a quorum. However, our first item was an informative presentation by Becky Binns, who is a housing planner, an equity planner out in Sun Prairie. And since she had come out in person, we went ahead with not a meeting and just heard the presentation and asked her some questions and didn't conduct any other business. It was very informative. When the time comes for us to be talking as a group in a committee of the whole meeting or council about what the Affordable Housing Action Plan will have in it, I will encourage everyone to watch Becky Binns' presentation because we're going to try to model some of what we do on what Sun Prairie does. Speaking of Sun Prairie, I was there today at the high school west, and it was a geothermal convening by Forward Together Wisconsin. Super informative. I went specifically because I was concerned about our community or civic campus plan and how it seems like geothermal might be limited or not even available for this. I won't go into details now, but I heard where there's a will, there's a way. It can be done with a small footprint in an urban environment. And you can build things on top of that geothermal field, like your parking lots or your parking structure or your building. So that was pretty exciting. And then finally, I just wanted to report that the police and EMS won the Battle of the Badges. I'm wearing my t-shirt. They won the game on August 9th. I think their streak is pretty long. They won over fire department with a walk-off home run in the 7th inning. And the fundraiser was for Lenny Kosek, who is a 2-year-old experiencing neuroblastoma. If folks didn't have a chance to contribute to the fundraisers for Lenny, please just Google her name, Lenny, Kossack, and fundraiser, and you'll find a GoFundMe page where you can contribute. They've got 100,000 is their goal, and they've raised 42,000. So it was a really good game. And Chief Thompson it was his first time, of course, appearing, and he represented his department well.
Excellent.
Just a reminder that tomorrow is the B-Cycle event at Stonehorse Green. That'll start at 4 o'clock. It'll include demonstrations and, potentially being able to ride a B-Cycle bike, followed by an actual B-Cycle ride that'll take place out of Capitol Brewery at 5:30. There is a longer and shorter route planned, so you don't have to commit to a longer route if you just want to try it out. But I encourage anyone who's thinking about B-Cycle or how we're going to talk about B-Cycle in the future, or who has never ridden an electric bike before and just wants to give it a whirl, this is a good opportunity to do so.
More great stuff. I love it. Alder Schaefer?
Tourism met today, and the news is it's a little better than it was with the really gloomy projection. They said room occupancy is down, but the daily rates are up, so it's sort of a high, but it's doing a little better than it was last year. Still anxiety about the fall, so nobody's recovering. This is you've emptied the glass of water and you put a little bit back in, but at least it's stable and hopes are high. So
Great. Alder Myers?
So just for Public Works, if you want to see what a raised crosswalk looks like, go down to the intersection of Franklin and Branch by Sauk Trail Elementary School. The raised crosswalk that we approved as part of the design in the Franklin reconstruction is now in, and hopefully it's the first of many in designated safety corridors to help raise pedestrians off the roadway and make them more visible and make our streets more accessible for mobility impaired users. And congratulations to our Public Works Director, Ben John, and the rest of the Public Works staff for making sure that Franklin Avenue project is complete in time for Good Neighbor Fest. Thank you.
Great job. And I'm very excited for that, but also very excited for the safe walking, especially near the schools. So glad that you guys are highlighting that on Public Works and all the committees. So thank you. That's great news. Alder Crow?
I handed out to council members the monthly roadmap for the Middleton Library. This is also available online on the library site. It's a monthly recap that the library director puts together, some of the things going on at the library, numbers, lots of good information about what's happening across the street from us. So
Very good. I want to say, was there something else besides Good Neighbor Fest? I think there's, is that it? I was gonna highlight something and I can't remember.
Speaking of Good Neighbor Fest, and yeah, that is good news. I was wondering if Franklin would be done. I got the email about a spot in the parade for elected officials, and I just wanted to know if anybody else is planning to be there. Because I have an opportunity, okay,
I'm there riding actually with the Conservancy or the Conservation Committee.
the
Oh,
sustainability,
fun.
With the slot 13.
Yeah.
sustainability
The
committee,
Sustainability Committee, yeah.
okay.
So there'll be two of us in a car. So-
Oh,
Right.
fun.
So I won't be going with the rest of you guys.
Yeah.
Are you too?
I will be walking with the library
Library.
bookmobile, which will be in the same area as.
Yeah. I'll be
Right,
walking.
you're going
in
with the airport?
No, but I could, if the weather permits, I can always just follow the mayor in the old car.
Yes, please. That would be delightful.
Yeah, as long as it doesn't rain, you know that.
I think it's supposed to be nice.
It is supposed to be nice.
That would be wonderful. Alder Crow?
I will also be down on the ground Saturday afternoon grilling burgers and hot dogs for the food stand, for the Optimists. So if anybody wants to support the Optimists,
Come see you.
yeah.
That sounds delightful. Alder Hanaro, did you get the answer to your question? I'm sorry.
I kind of did. If I marched in the elected official section, it would be just me because my colleagues are going to be going with their allegiances. Well, I was supposed to be in sustainability too, so maybe I'll join you, Alder
Join us.
Schaefer.
Have a party. You're
So-
like our green tech lady. Like, own it. Yes. Sorry,
I
Alder
will be
Schaefer.
there, but I was fortunate enough to be chosen as a parade judge. So I will not be
Oh,
marching in the parade, but I will be there.
Stay
present.
judging us.
I'll be on
Oh.
the judges stand as well.
City administrator, if they talk about prejudging, do I need to cut off the comments? Okay, yeah. Don't ask to be prejudged, right? Okay, all right, sorry.
That was just a hinting.
No, I'll just give you a wrap up. Because, you know, the summer times when all the events are out at the airport, so and we're coming to an end of that, and it was an excellent year this year. There's a non-for-profit foundation out at the airport called the Willa Brown Academy. And they've hosted numerous, and when I say they, it's one person who started it and maintains it, but have hosted a summer camp that spanned the Dane County Airport facility, the Middleton Airport facility, week-long camp. And these organizations all support kids that come from underrepresented communities throughout Dane County. And they go out and actively recruit kids, you know, throughout the system. And these kids are given a week-long camp and exposure to career opportunities in STEM. And of course, they're given airplane rides, you know, no shortage of those. And then, of course, Experimental Aircraft Association had 2 ride events out at the airport, plus Capital Flight had their Cars Carrying Kids event, which is a national foundation for, I think it's pediatric cancer. And I think that's it.
Well, those are all wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that.
And just one more item on behalf of Public Works, Alder Madden, and yeah, you're getting blamed for this one.
Oh, boy.
Alder Madden made a great suggestion at one of our meetings about a month ago that what we really needed was an agenda item for how would you be better served by, like, how would informing you go better how could we, as a city, better communicate you, the residents who are watching this, and especially those of you who aren't? What would be a better way for the city to communicate with you about projects? And that is going to take place next Monday. So if there is a way that the city can communicate better for you with regard to public works projects, please tell us. We want your
Yeah,
feedback.
We want your feedback, send your suggestions. Thank you.
That's really great. I really like that that was an idea and that it's being implemented. So may we all grow in these opportunities, and asking for feedback is always good. So I know school is going back into session, and I'm looking at the Parks Director, knowing that the Bauman Pool will close soon. And the splash pad will come to the end of the year. So if you see folks, hopefully they're walking to our parks and enjoying the last days of summer. And I look forward to seeing you all at Good Neighbor Fest and all the activities, because you guys are always just engaging, and it's really cool to see. So glad you're on the committees and doing all the things. All right, so moving on to convening into closed session. Brian, can you assist?
Yes. So we'll need a motion and a second to convene in closed session pursuant to Wisconsin statute 19.851G for conferring with legal counsel for the governmental body who's rendering oral or written advice concerning strategy to be adopted by the body with respect to litigation in which it is or is likely to become involved regarding claims for damages submitted by David and Allison Geisler and Home Site Insurance.
Madden seconds.
Okay, I'll do a roll call vote. Alder Schaefer,
Yes.
Alder Madden,
Yes.
Alder Kalish,
Yes.
Mayor Kuhn,
Yes.
Alder Nelson,
Yes.
Alder Myers,
Yes.
Alder Haniro,
Yes.
Alder Lorman,
Yes.
Alder Crow.
Yes.
Okay, give us one moment to get things ready here.
I did see someone raise their hand. So did you want to talk for a moment, sir?